One interesting but annoying side effect of body dehydration. If you watch my channel, I have a severe dehydration which has been going on for many years, and it's aggravated during nighttime when I cannot drink water, and quite often in morning. So when I wake up for about maybe 30 minutes or so, maybe up to 1 hour, I really have a much more increased hearing. So all the noises that I would make during the day and that I would just hear them with certain intensity during the day, during the first 30 minutes after waking up in the morning, the same noises, I just hear them louder, not twice as louder, but definitely louder. I mean, there is no, obviously this is subjective, right? Just, I feel that way. I didn't measure this with any device, but it keeps repeating. So it's definitely not just my impression, my kind of, so it's definitely how I perceive those noises. They sound louder because obviously my hearing is more sensitive, and I strongly relate this to dehydration. I don't have I'm not sure why it's going on like this. Maybe the eardrum, the material from the eardrum maybe gets more dry, thus being more sensitive to sound, transmits more vibrations, more intense. Maybe the tiny bones, which are the internal ear, somehow get affected by this body dehydration, less wet environment, who knows. But this is not the problem that I have with this kind of side effect. The problem that I have is at the same time during these past years, I started having something that I never, not for once, that I remember, never had before. So I'm pretty old, and only through the past, it's hard for me to really remember exactly the moment when this started, but through the past years only, when I put my head on the pillow, when I want to sleep on both sides, doesn't matter which side, when I start being dehydrated, especially if I wake up at night or on the early hours, I just hear this friction against the pillow. Now, okay, first thing first, I know it sounds totally weird, and again, I just repeat this. I had never had this kind of issue before in my life, not even once. I don't remember any occurrence of this. And this noise is sort of, it's not a faint noise. It's really just like you would rub against your ear. If you rub right now, let's say somewhere around the ear, it's that how loud it is. It's not loud, but it's really present. And now the reason I think why there is sort of a friction between the head, if you want, when you sleep sideways, obviously, is that when you breath, breath in, out, breath in, breath out, obviously the chest is inflated a little bit, so the body has a tiny movement, and it's really that movement which obviously transmits to the head. That movement, that kind of, I guess it's very, very small, but it's that movement that causes a small friction between the head and the pillow material surface. Now, I'm convinced that in persons who don't have this kind of dehydration issue, or who don't have any issue with the ears, they don't even get the idea what I'm talking about. They will say this guy has kind of squirrels in his mind or something like this. So, but since I had this dehydration problem, this kind of friction, noise, whatever you call it, started to bother me at night. And I don't have headache, I don't have mental issues, so to speak, that would impact these things. So to kind of think it's in my mind or something like this. So I believe it's purely physical, and again, it does absolutely relate with this increased ear sensitivity. And it's not fun. It's not fun because I already had a bad sleep. I already had wake up many times during the nighttime especially when I turn to my sides. I cannot sleep on my back because I have these problems with my lungs, with my breathing, and describe this in other videos. If I sleep on my back, that's the very worst position for my body. I don't have an explanation why, but it really affects my breathing much more. So I have to sleep on sides. And when I wake up at night or when I have insomnia and I just cannot detach myself from this kind of friction noise, whatever it is, I also try to use earplugs. However, the earplugs, first off, normally they are long in size, so basically the end touches near the eardrum and the other end it's outside against the pillow, so it will transmit those noises as well. It really kind of rubs on the pillow as well. So I actually cut shorter earplugs and use them like this and try not to have them touch my eardrum. So I push them all the way in and then I just pull them out just a little bit and feel like when they detach from the eardrum or around that area. That's helping. And also I did try to try different pillow surfaces basically. So I found out that there are surfaces that are smooth, very smooth, depends on the material obviously, which make this noise more bearable. It's less, a little bit less, but still it sucks, quite frankly, but that's how it is. I don't think there's something I can do about it. And yeah, so it's not really related if I'm really tired or if I have, I don't know, a bad mood or something like this. It happens all the nights and I could not get used to this thing until now.